Just got my fuel pump in and just opened it up, make sure everything was there. Haven't really opened it up and dissected what came in the box yet, so we're going to do that right now. Let's see what we got here. Everybody always thinks that getting DeLorean parts are very, very difficult. But believe it or not, there's a lot of guys out there doing DeLorean specific stuff. And the guy I use for most of my parts, for DeLorean parts, John Hervey. He's out of Texas. He has a website, Specialty Auto. But from what I can tell, he basically does old mechanical fuel pump stuff for the Bosch injection systems, which, once again, we all know, I do not like Bosch injection systems. I think they're junky, I think they're antiquated. Even when they were new, they were still junk, I think, my personal opinion. Gives you a big long list. But what I like about this system is its new style. Everything is new on it. The way he's got it set up, the connections, everything's new. The old style, which I found last night, is this. It's junk. What happened is it got all the crap inside of it over the years. The filter, this little pad, it all just fell apart. When I pulled it out, it had just completely disintegrated. I don't know where the pump went, but the pump looked like it had been set in salt water. There it is right there. You know, supposedly this pump had been replaced in the last, it's a time over mileage thing because this car never goes anywhere. But that pump is all rusty and crusty. And it had supposedly been changed out 6 months before I bought the car. I don't know if I believe that or not, because this thing was just garbage. So if we go back over here to the new one, it just feels better. It just looks better, feels better. Connections are nicer. So, Specialty Auto out of Forney, Texas. He's one that also got all of the, also the place I got all the stainless lines. He rebuilt that Bosch Q whatever it is pump. But he's basically got everything you need to get one of these back on the road aftermarket. If you want factory parts, you can get them from DeLorean Motor Company America. I don't like much of the factory stuff. I think it's all junk. So we're going to knock out the fuel pump today. I think this is part of I believe this is part of the aftermarket one that you can get from DMC. Once again, not a fan. Don't like it. We're going to change all that out, I think, when we put the new system in. Because I don't believe those connectors are the same. Its connections look totally different. I'm going to get down here and figure this out and get back. Alright guys, first little snafu of the day here. Went to go look down inside the fuel tank, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is a problem. And the only way I know to really rectify this whole situation is pull the tank out. But you can look, you guys can see down in there. And if you can't, this is what my fuel looks like right now. I'm not sure how much is in there, how deep that is, but there's no way I'm going to run that through my new pump. That new pump's $300-400, and it's like motor oil. This doesn't even smell like gas anymore. Oh man, it smells terrible. It smells so bad. Gonna go ahead and try to get this cleaned up. See what it's gonna take to pull this tank out. I think the tank's probably gonna come out through the bottom. And if it does, that's gonna be a bigger issue. We'll see. I'm gonna see how bad it is down in there. And it actually feels like there might be a drain in the bottom of the tank. I'm not sure what we're going to end up with yet. I'm not going to go anywhere near any of my new products I put in this car. God almighty. That is ridiculous how bad that is. So we're going to start the cleanup process, and I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, just had some issue with my camera. I guess it's issue with me, not the camera. He's a little smarter than I am, but you can see down in there, we got the fuel tank pretty clean. A lot cleaner than it was. One thing I want you guys, if you ever do something like this, you're messing with old gas, old chemicals, always wear some gloves. This was after about 10 minutes. This is my 5th pair of gloves after about an hour. You can see that's 5 mils and they're completely shredded. So make sure you use good gloves. Now we're going to figure out how to get the fuel pump in. Alright guys, time to put the fuel pump in. I've cleaned up around the edge. The instructions on this thing are pretty specific, and they say do not, under any circumstance, use any lubrication on the seal. So I haven't. I've just cleaned it up with a rag. We're going to drop it in. Get that fuel sock in there. Rubber band. We're going to take that rubber band off. Last thing I want is something else to deteriorate inside this tank. We've had enough going on already. Alright. Sock in first. Get that down in there. And then he says just push it down. That fit really nice and snug. That's nice. Now I understand why he says don't use anything on it. Now we'll go ahead and get the supplied clamp. Get it in place. I can see that it wants to push out. So that clamp's kind of what holds it. It doesn't have a lip. Not a very big lip on that tank, so I believe, yeah, I'm going to have to get that thing on there pretty tight. I have to use some force. Now, on our instructions, it shows having the lines. You can see them. The lines come up under here. Looks like he routes them. Looks like they want you to route those lines behind there. That's your fuel filler. And then they won't kink, because if we push it the way he wants, it's going to kink that feed line, and you don't want that. So in a minute I'm going to run those back around there like they have in the pictures. It says that doesn't affect it, so give me just a second. Alright. I hope it's got more line than that, because that's not going to fit. Alright guys, we went and got some gas. Got some 90 octane non-ethanol. We're going to pour it in here and see if we've done our job correctly. The only issue we might have is the wiring might be backwards on the pump and the fuel cylinder, because the plugs are the same. And I got no instructions on what color wire go where. I'm assuming black and red are the power for the fuel pump, but I don't know. So we'll figure that out. Let me get some gas in it, get the battery hooked up, and see what happens. Yep, fuel tank is all put back together. The new fuel pump is put in, and beside it right there is the new fuel cylinder for the level, the float. Time to button this thing back up and start working our way back through the car. We'll go ahead and get the rest of this cleaned up, get the spare tire reinstalled, get the strap on it. But something I want you guys to look at is, like, this is the hood latch. And as far as I know, it's never been off. Look how poorly the fit and finish is on it. I mean, same thing down here in the tub. When I pulled this apart, it actually broke apart some of the bonding material, and I'm not sure if it broke apart some of the fiberglass. I don't know. But I mean, you can see that. Once again, this is one of the first 500, for export to come to America. And maybe there were some quality issues that they were still working out. Maybe not. Maybe this is the way it was always going to be. I don't know. But I do know that I will probably have to get back in over there when I do the brakes. Because I believe I'm going to have to pull that off. I think it might need a new master cylinder. And if it does, you guys will go with me on that journey too. It's just one thing after another. But I knew it jumping into this project, and I'm not mad about it. It's just a little overwhelming on a car that you just can't go down to Discount Auto Parts and get parts for. So I'm sure by the time it's done, I will have to replace the soft lines going from the body to the calipers. Sure, I'll have to replace the master cylinder. And like I said, we're rebuilding the calipers tomorrow, so just another day in paradise down here in sunny Florida. So let me get this all cleaned up, get the spare tire in it, get it looking like it's supposed to be, and then I'll get right back.